we've become very dependent on Russian energy. One big issue is, of course, the war in Ukraine. The real problem is when in your supply chain, in your input markets, such as energy, you depend too much on one country which doesn't share your political beliefs. And then that's a danger. That raises the question in the future of who do you do business with, where do you want to depend on whom, and how we move that forward. The question is for policymakers to sit down and to look at these dependencies. So in step one, it is to look at the facts. Where are we with these dependencies? I think a lot of it is not really that much known yet, or is sort of decentralized with the companies. But I think to have an overview of where Europe and which markets are dependent, I think that's important. That's step one. And I think step two is to decide, and this is a political decision, how much of a dependency in segment X are we willing to enter into with a certain country, whether that country shares our values, is a democracy or not, should that play a role in defining that? And I think that is something which politics has to decide and society has to decide. We shouldn't throw out the baby with the bathwater. I think globalization, diversification, relying on global markets continues to be very important. And I think that is a very important lesson, that we shouldn't overdo it. And there's a tendency to do that when you're looking at such a horrible situation in Ukraine and then look at what the dependency is doing to us. Solving the problem of the war and supporting Ukraine and rebuilding Ukraine so that Ukraine wins the war, we need to think about how we want to prevent such things happening again in the future. And that discussion has to start.